Good morning, everyone. How are you? Do I have a story for you today? No, I'm kidding. I kind of do, I guess. My name is Holly Berube. I am a relationship coach that supports people in getting through the road bumps in the romantic partnerships and get back to a place of win-win in that relationship. So, hello, good morning. If you are watching live, please put a 1 in the comments or type the word live. If you're watching on the replay, put the number 2 in the comments or type the word replay. I'm going to give this a minute because I know Facebook takes its time telling people that I am here. So I shall sip my coffee as I wait for a moment. So today I'm going to be talking with you about the one main ingredient. I wish I had my notes in front of me. My mouse on my computer died. They're on my computer. My screen, it doesn't even matter. I'm going to be talking to you about the one main ingredient in your relationship communication that is making a negative impact on your relationship, and what that ingredient is, how to bring it back. So for those of you that do not know, I've already said who I am and what I do as a relationship coach, but I'm committed to going live here on my personal page Monday through Thursday at 8:30 a.m. ish Eastern, Monday through Thursday. I am really doing terrible at being live right on time last week and this week. I think I've hit it once. No, I don't know. But as I'm waiting for some more people to join me here, so last night, I don't know what is up, but my animals are so stinking needy this week. Like, my dog is super needy. I did not want my dog to sleep in my room last night because I just wanted the bed. I closed my bedroom door and the dog headbutt my bedroom door and cried until I let her in. I'm like, oh, good Lord, help me. But my cat is the real culprit. My cat likes to wake me up multiple times during the night. Last night was no exception. And not only did he wake me up 4 times throughout the night, he woke me up, sat next to me, and then sat on my chest and just was like, pet me. I'm like, are you kidding? And when I do not do it, he goes to my window where there are blinds and he grabs the blinds or bats at the blinds and hits the blinds against the window until I acknowledge him. So I don't know what's up with my animals right now, but your girl's tired. I'm really tired and moving very slow today. Anyhow, I don't know if anybody else is going to join me. I have one person here. So sometimes Facebook doesn't always communicate to me either if people are here or not. So if you are here, again, please put a 1 in the comments or type live, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. Or if you watch this later on as a replay, please put 2 in the comments or type the word replay. Same thing. Tell me where you're watching from. Okay, there we go. Hi, Robin. Good morning. All right. Thank you, Facebook. I need to start timing how long it takes for people to start getting notifications and coming in. So, all right. So here is the one key ingredient that may be missing from your relationship communication and how it's negatively impacting that situation. Oh, and P.S. Robin, I owe you a message. I'm so sorry. I owe you a message. Clearly my week has been busy, but I owe you a message, so I will send you it back. Okay. Anyway, so this was inspired yesterday because someone left a comment to my live yesterday on March on May 10th asking about, or just pointing out that I had been talking about in that live stream about the importance of neutral languaging to positive languaging when we are communicating with the people in our life that we love. And what I'll say is there is, and this is something that I've heard many times, the importance of neutral languaging, I cannot stress enough. And the neutral languaging is, or neutral to positive languaging, is the main ingredient that may be missing from your communication. So I want to lay it out for you today, how that's getting in the way when you do not have your languaging and your communication that way, how it is making things worse, and how you can fix it, what you can start practicing today to make it better. Good morning, Stephanie. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right. So there is the process of why we do things. We're going to go backwards here. So we take an action and we do something, right? Before we take an action and we do that thing, we have a thought. Before we have a thought, there is an emotion. And before we have the emotion, there is a belief. So I'm going to track these things down. So let's say, okay, and again, I had like a really good example in my notes, and my computer mouse is dead, so now I can't get to it. But anyhow, so I'll say that again. We take an action. There is always going to be a thought that leads to the action, but there is an emotion that leads to the thought. And that emotion is caused by some belief that you have. So some common beliefs that when I work with my one-on-one coaching clients, or when I work with my group coaching program in Happy Spouse, Happy House, one of the common beliefs that will come up will be something like, I do everything and he does nothing. That will be a belief of a client. Another client will say something like, I can't do anything right. No matter what I do, she always thinks it's the wrong way. So type yes if you know you have a belief that is somewhere like that about your relationship, or you have had it. It's not even every day. So you have a thought of like, I do everything, they do nothing, or you have a thought, or not a thought, you have a belief, I do everything, they do nothing. You have a belief of, I can never do anything right. You might have a belief of, they don't care what I have to say. You might have a belief of, they don't want my input. That you might have a belief of, they think that their way is the only way or the right way. Those are beliefs. Okay. So these core beliefs that we have, some of them, this is the root of where you want to get to in order to change your actions. And that's where we're headed. In order to change the action, which is clear communication so that another person understands what we're saying, we want to get to the belief that is starting this chain of events. So as an example, if you are in a relationship and you have this belief of, I can never do anything right. I can never do anything right. Like I always end up doing it wrong in their eyes, right? It's never the right answer. That is a belief. So that belief is going to lead to things that you think. So what are some thoughts that can now run through your mind? Well, they might sound a lot like the belief, right? So the belief is, I can never do anything right. And then the thought that crosses your mind could be something like, I always mess up, or I always F up. I can't win. Why? The thought might be, why am I even trying? They're just going to hate how I do it anyway. Why am I even asking? I'm just going to be making mistakes over and over again. The thought might be, why am I even in this situation? The thought might be, why are they constantly telling me that I'm doing it wrong? The thought might be, why don't they notice the other things that I do? But it starts with that belief. That belief that we have, this particular person, the belief they have of, I can never do enough, or I can never do anything right, leads to this chain of events of thoughts. And then the thoughts affect how or it leads to the chain of event of feelings. Okay. And I think I might have feelings and thoughts mixed up, but it all works in the same way. So bear with me. Robin says, or your kid's room is never clean. I try never to speak in absolutes. Yes, that's a great point. Another way to identify what your core belief might be that is impacting your communication is to notice where in your belief you are using an extreme or an absolute. So in the examples I gave, I can never do anything right. That's what one of my clients has sometimes believed in their relationship. Another client will think, I do everything. That's an extreme. And they do nothing. That's an extreme. Robin is saying the word never is an absolute, right? Like the kids never clean their room. So notice when you have that belief or that thought that mirrors it. So then what's going to happen is somewhere the thought is going to lead to that belief, which leads to that thought is now going to create a feeling. Here's where this really impacts us, because your feeling and your thoughts combined are going to determine what you end up communicating. Okay. So if you're believing that thing, if you're thinking those thoughts, that person might be feeling defeated. They might be feeling hopeless. They might be feeling angry. They might be feeling disrespected. They might be feeling crushed. They might be feeling disappointed. There is a feeling that is there, whether they acknowledge that feeling or not. There is a feeling there. We cannot escape it. And this is why it's so important to always stay connected to your physical body in some way through movement or motion or exercise in some way, because feeling actually is connected to how your body feels. Okay. So your body can be an indicator too. If you have consistent pain, your consistent pain could be an indication of a feeling that you are holding on to. So we feel these feelings. We feel crushed. We feel disappointed. We feel disrespected because we've got those core beliefs. We've got those thoughts that we're thinking. And sometimes those beliefs and sometimes those thoughts are not caused by the person we're in the relationship with. They could be caused from previous relationships. They could be caused by exes. They could be caused by what's going on for them at work and how their boss treats them. It could be going on from how they were raised, right? Like feelings and thoughts got rooted in them when they were much younger and it's just stuck with them their entire life. And it could be directly related to you, okay? But it isn't always directly related to you. So once you know the belief and the thought and you can acknowledge this is how I'm feeling, that mix of things is going to impact your communication. So like Robin was saying a moment ago, if you speak in an absolute, if you have a belief that they never do something or they always do something, or I can never win, or they do nothing and I do everything, or they never listen, they don't want to listen, they do not care about me, whatever that belief is, if that is something that you are not aware of, if you are not aware of your beliefs and your thoughts that happen internally, that's called self-awareness, by the way. If you don't know what yours are, you will always communicate on the fly and you're going to mess up your communication quite a bit. It's so important to get to the root. So type yes if any of this is hitting home or making sense to you so far. Give me a heart, give me some thumbs up. And so this is so important. That is the missing ingredient that is impacting your communication. That is why your communication is also in extremes, because that belief or that thought and that emotion is dictating how you speak to people and or how you listen to people or don't listen to people, or how you don't speak to people, right? Like, do you just shut people out? And so when we can take the time, hi Stephanie again, thank you so much. I'm glad that she's home. So it's important to understand what are your core beliefs and thoughts that lead to these emotions that then dictate how you are acting or communicating with people. Because if I'm feeling it, if I'm thinking it, it's going to come out in my communication toward my partner. So if you can get to so that's the first tip for you. The missing ingredient that is impacting your relationship communication and you don't even know is understanding is my dog sneezing, is understanding what your limiting belief, like what that belief or what that thought is that tends to cross your mind. Okay. Now, once you know what that is, you have so much more power in your communication. You have so much more, you can have more confidence with it because you can catch yourself. So for example, okay, I might be feeling, so let's say the client who feels I can never do anything right. Okay. Let's say their spouse goes to them and asks them for something. And they go and they start doing the task that their spouse did. And the whole time they catch themselves thinking, I'm never going to get this right. She's just going to be mad at me again. She's just going to be disappointed. She's just going to say that I did this wrong. If that is the internal dialogue in his mind the entire time, then yeah, like he's already feeling that disappointment. And then when he lets her know that it's done, his remark might come off as snarky. There might be a passive aggressive comment like, okay, it's done. Hope you like it. Hope I did it right. That's an example of how that thought or that belief if we do not know it's there and we do not pay attention and look for it in our thoughts and in our feelings on a regular basis, it will come out of our mouth as negative communication as opposed to neutral. So when he gives a passive aggressive remark or says something snarky, that is not necessarily coming from something that happened directly in that moment. It's coming from the thought and the belief. So that is why we want to get to the root of why you say and communicate the way that you do, and the parts of the communication that you don't like. Now, in your day-to-day life now, what you can start doing today is start being on a quest for what is that thought or what is that belief that crosses my mind often that maybe I'm not noticing, maybe I'm not catching it, and it's coming out as being angry with my significant other, being snarky toward my child, being rude to someone that I work with, or rude to someone in public. And after, so now we get to work backwards. When you notice something in your communication and it leaves your mouth and you're like, I wish I could take that back. We want to start thinking, okay, when I said that, what was I feeling in the moment? When I said that thing I didn't want to say, what was I thinking in the moment? And when I said what I just said that I didn't want to, how was I believing in the moment? And if you can trace those undesirable things back to how you think, how you were feeling, how you were believing, you can now start to see, hi Miles, good to see you. You can now start to pinpoint that on a regular basis. And when you do go into these conversations with the people that you love the most in your life, you will now know, oh, I am really tempted to be a snippy jerk right now because I feel kind of yucky and that thought is crossing my mind of I never do anything right. Okay, I'm going to catch the belief and I'm going to say something neutral instead. Oh, they want me to do this thing in the house. Okay, I'm going to go do it. And then I'm going to go to them and say, hey, I folded the laundry. That is a neutral statement. But it's a matter of catching it. And this is a practice. This takes quite a bit of time over and over again, but you can start doing this today. So that is my invitation to you for today, is to start noticing what are the beliefs that cross your mind, what are the thoughts that were crossing your mind, what were the emotions that you were feeling when you are saying something you wish you were not saying, or when you wish you could take something back that you said because you don't like how you delivered it or the person you said it to didn't like your delivery on it. Okay. So how we do things, the way we speak, is impacted from the very beginning by a belief we have, which leads to a thought we think and an emotion we're feeling. Those are kind of tied together. Okay. So I hope this was supportive. Thank you for being here. If you caught this live, you can put a 1 in the comments or type the word live. If you watched on the replay, you can put a 2 in the comments or type the word replay. Just a quick reminder that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, 45 minutes a day in the evening, I am hosting a virtual boot camp called The 3 Secrets to Better Communication in a Relationship. The boot camp is only $37. I'm going to teach you the 3 secrets to better communication in your relationship. So if you are interested in that boot camp, type boot camp in the comments below. And when the sign up link is ready, I will send it to you. It is going to be so good. This is my free content here. So my former students, my current students, my clients, they can tell you, I promise, I over deliver in a good way, in a positive way. Let me support you. That boot camp, virtual boot camp, is also on Zoom, live face-to-face with me. It is recorded, so if you can't make it at night, you can always watch it and have access to it. There'll be tons of goodies and bonuses with it, so it is worth it. So I hope you join me for that. Again, type boot camp in the comments if you're interested in that. The June 6th, 7th, and 8th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 45 minutes a day, 3 secrets to better communication in your relationship. And that's all I have for today. So I will be back tomorrow on Thursday for the Holly Show at 8:30 a.m.-ish Eastern. Hopefully I sleep better and my animals don't wake me up all night like I was saying. And I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the thumbs up. You're welcome, Stephanie. I appreciate you watching. And until tomorrow, love always in always. Take care, everyone.